So things are evolving, things are changing, and they must. But the ability to take our minds into moments that are great and wonderful is a great gift also. I remember how things were for me. And now I see how things are totally different and can't change it, can't stop that. And one of the other elements that I find is valuable is to appreciate every moment because it comes and it goes and it will change. And people in your lives, souls that come to teach or to resolve or to finish or whatever it's going to be, they come and they go. And we have to move on. And we have to step up and we have to, play our part. And our part is not always the same because there have been many, many perfect moments. And I want you to reflect on what that might mean for you, where there was a feeling and there was a company and it was just really nice and really sweet. And it goes. We move into a moment, could be a celebration, could be a meditation, could be a class, could be just the group that's there. Very nice, perfect moments. But we have to go on and we have to let go of those. And we have to create another one. And I think that's kind of what our Brahman life is, the ability to find the peace or the love or the qualities in that moment, because it is a perfect moment. Every moment is very, very special. And that's a checking point for me all the time. Whatever's going on, am I doing okay? Am I able to smile? Am I able to have the qualities? Am I able to remember an early point that I'm supposed to use at that time? Because it is a perfect moment. And I find that it's easy to find company that doesn't have that perspective. If that makes any sense. Why is it this way? Why is it this way? How come it's always wrong? How come you're this way? What about me? Maybe it's not happening here. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. But that sense that, Baba says, this is how it should be. These are the moments. This is the Brahman life. And we've been talking as a group, as an organization, as souls for a while about Golden Age. Okay. And one of the points that's come up, and I hope that has resonated with you one way or the other through a variety of different programs and teachers and such, is that you need to have the experience and the qualities now of a deity, Golden Age. And you're not going to get it there. When you leave here, that's it. You're not going to grow anymore. You're not going to accumulate anymore. It's not like a magic wand. Now everything's fixed. Whatever you do here, that's it. And so how close is the Golden Age coming? How close is it for you to be your elevated deity stage? Are you living that now? Are you acting in that way? Is it coming? There's a great Murli phrase that, can you see the trees of heaven? I think it is. And there was another reference, and I don't recall where it comes. It might have been Sister Mohini. She said that we will not see the Golden Age, but we will feel that. Okay. It might have been paraphrasing that. But very important to understand that are you, and this is a checking point for us, are you feeling that way yourself? Are you able to see each other's that way? Okay, the world is going through a change and the world is transforming to become what it is that you want it to become. Perfect, elevated, paradise. And, there's lots of things I see that are taking place in the world that are moving in that direction. And so am I moving as fast as I need to, or faster than I should be? I don't want, the flames of hell licking at my back as I walk into heaven or something. I kind of like that. I get to the airport a little early so that I can relax. I can sit at the airport comfortably rather than I can sit in traffic uncomfortably trying to get to the airport. That's just how I am. I like to be on time. Didn't know them early. It was at 6:15 today. So thank you for that hot tip on that. But that sense, do we feel that the golden age is coming? And do we feel and are we acting with those qualities that are necessary? And are we, whatever else is going around with anybody else, are we creating that awareness that this is how I need to be because this is how it will be? Do I have enough peace to hang out for 2,500 years? Do I have enough love and cooperation to last me that time? If I don't, I might not make it. I'll come in when I've got, enough for the cover charge, so to speak. And that awareness that's, it's coming. And one of my little pastimes is just to check how many of you are having visions. Anybody having visions? Baba says that as the beginning is at the end, and they had visions, dancing with Krishna and such. So I kind of check, waiting to see, I'm not yet. So kind of. And that's what's kind of a sense. It's what is a vision? Baba says. And so sitting back in my chair at home and thinking, oh, there's Krishna and me. And, I don't know if that's how it's going to play out. But that sense of a feeling. Are we having vision? And vision is often considered, in my mind, with eyes. But if we use vision as senses, are we hearing? Are we feeling and such? And I was asked to do a little commentary on Golden Age and such, and tried to communicate the sense that being able to listen to the world, the wind, the sun, feel those things, the senses, there is a Golden Age atmosphere around us. See, that was highlighted. You should remember that one. There is a Golden Age atmosphere available to us. And the concept of confluence, we often talk about the confluence age and confluence in Diamond Harbor. And I don't know what the confluence is here, but in New York, it's the ocean and the Hudson River. And I did a little research on that, but there's actually 3 bio areas, whatever they call it. They've got the fresh water, which is not necessarily fresh, from the Hudson River. You've got the salt from the Atlantic. But in the New York Harbor and part of the Hudson River, they exist kind of together. That there's some fish that are fresh, that are in the certain level of the river, and there's certain fish and animals, whatever, plants, that are salt, and they kind of exist. And so there's that existence together. And that's what's happening, I think, now, that there's the Golden Age of vibration. It's, circulating, it's coming. And do we live in that at this time? And can I specifically find that and feel that and experience that and connect to that and, see the trees? See the trees, the Golden Age. Are they talking to me? And I believe that they are. That there is this energy, this experience. There's a feeling that Baba wants us to tune into at this time. It's the confluence. And the confluence means 2 different things. And so where am I? What am I connecting to? How am I seeing myself? And I might not get the same support from others to see it the same way. And possibly some of you might have that experience also, that others keep bringing you back or give you this counterweight to think in a limited, fearful, negative, body conscious way. And so that energy is, I guess surfers might say, an undertow, that there are these rip currents that are happening. Something is coming in, but something else is still there pulling in another direction. There's a balance. And so that balance of the energies that are available. Maya is very strong, has very powerful current that pulls on us. Very easy to slip into that. Okay, I know. And it's more of a mindset than an action. But the more we practice, and incredibly powerful point today in the Murli is if you follow Srimad, Baba's going to take care of it, whatever happens. And so that's kind of our life preserver in this. That's kind of our way of keeping our head above the riptides, the undercurrents, the other stuff that's going on. Let me just, very simple. Let me wake up. Let me remember. Let me practice. Let me have some yoga. Let me apply at least a Murli point. And I am not perfect in remembering the whole Murli. My mind these days is kind of like a box and only one thing fits in. I get one point and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. And the next thing comes in and pushes that one out. And then it's like, oh, that's a good one. What was this one? I forgot. I'm just not able to remember everything. And so for me, the Murli is more of an experience. As opposed, I should write it down and come back to these things, but very easy to have that thought and kind of, wow, that's a great thought. What was she saying again? Oh yeah, let me come back and re-listen. So it's important to follow the Srimats, listen to what Baba's saying that day, so that helps us get grounded in the vibrations, the energy, the atmosphere of the golden age, and so that we can live at that. Fascinating time. And how I have learned to be a student comes from sitting in this room, comes from little conversations like this, that there have been great souls who have offered what they've learned, and my choice was to listen to that and see if it works for me and make it work for me, and see what I can understand. And one of the things I've also learned is if I don't understand things, not to worry about it. Okay. Because today in the Murli, there was a point that's like, I don't think I have heard that before, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But when Baba talked about the top knot and the cow's hoof, it's like, and then I imagined having this, cow's hoof on my head. And it's like, well, I don't think that's what Baba wants. I'm not going to be wearing some. And then it's like, is that a horseshoe? Yeah, that's a horse, and that's a good luck charm. But I don't think that's what Baba's talking about. And so I didn't really understand that point myself. Maybe we can on that some, but because I didn't understand anything, and I didn't understand most everything when I first came, because it's India, Hindu religion-based concepts, which I find fascinating, but I was ignorant about those. And so everything had to be explained. What does this mean? And what does that mean? But I hadn't ever heard about the cow's hoof. And it was I think it was in the Murli today. It's like, okay, well, we'll put that on the things to investigate when I'm sitting at the airport waiting for my flight to go off, because I've got some time. And so one of the things that I hope to do and apply is, Baba says, don't you have a half an hour or an hour to study today? And I think I'll find some time, see what we can do with that. But I don't know if you ask for questions or comments or others to do things. I feel I'm kind of rambling on. So, Om Shanti.